So what does a game company do? Is it a creative outlet for you and a way to make money, doing what you're passionate about? Is it a way to make, a living fulfilling your childhood dreams of making games and, telling your story? Or is it a bunch of people with different skills, all working together to make a cool, unique game? Or is it, to find investors and publishers so that way they give you money and you don't have to have a day job and you can spend, all day working what you're passionate about, right? Well, let me explain what a game company really does. And let's break down what a business does in very simple terms. So a business creates value and people exchange, their time and money for that value. So for example, you use Unreal or Unity to help you create a game. You are exchanging your time and your money because you can finish your game way faster and easier. And the reason you want, to finish your game is probably for two reasons, right? Reason one is you want to have as many people, play your game, enjoy your creation as possible. And the second reason is maybe because you want to make some money and you want to support your life, doing what you love doing, right? So you see the value a game engine offers to you is worth more than what you're paying for it. So in other words, you're not buying the software, you're buying the outcome you'll get from using that software. So let me explain. A game engine has features that makes it, easy for you to finish your game faster and easier. And I'm not saying it's easy to learn and use a game engine, right? But it's a lot easier if you were, to do it from scratch and try to make your own game engine, right? So anyway, my point is that you're not paying for a game engine because they have cool features. You're not paying because it's more convenient than it is to, create your own game engine. You're paying for a game engine because that software will give you a tangible outcome. So what exactly is a tangible outcome? Well, it's not a feeling you get. It's something concrete that you can, count or reach out and grab, in real life, in IRL. So for example, you've made a game people want to buy. They download it and play it. So that in turn has given you an income, right? And now you can count how many games you sold and how many money you've, earned or made. And with that money or that income, you can now pay rent, buy food, pay for gas, tangible things you can reach out and grab and kind of count, right? So let me give you another example. You probably use, TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit to promote your game, right? So the value in those platforms is not their features. The value is not because you can, easily reach out to a lot of people really fast. And the value isn't because you have access to a huge audience, with basically a click of a button, right? The value of Twitter or TikTok or Reddit is the tangible outcome you will get that will improve your life. So for example, you post on Twitter or Reddit, you are making connections with people who might help you, help you finish your game. Or you're basically making friends digitally and sometimes in IRL, right? Sometimes you can meet up with them. And you're increasing your chances of somebody discovering and buying your game, right? You can tangibly count how many, people follow you, and you can count the people you've met in real life because of social media, and you can count how many of those followers go buy your game, right? All of these reasons have improved your life socially and financially and sometimes emotionally, right? So let me give you one more example. So let's look at Coca-Cola. On the surface, you might think people buy it because, it tastes good or because, their advertising and branding basically influences you to buy it, right? Well, these are kind of true, but the real reason people buy Coke is because of the tangible outcome they get. So Coke, has caffeine and a lot of sugar in it, right? And that physically, changes your focus and physically changes your mood. People use Coke, to help them get things done, basically. There's a tangible outcome people get. So what a business really does is give people tangible results that improves their lives in real life. So my point here is that people will exchange their time and their money with a business only if they get a tangible result in real life. And that is, basically concrete here and now, and that they can count and that they can actually use, right? So I know I'm repeating myself, but this is really important to get. So if you're buying a game engine, you're, basically buying financial freedom. One day you want your game to sell, enough copies so that way you can, pay rent or buy a home or, even pay your kids' education, right? And you're not posting on social media, you're building a community of friends that you can't find in real life, or you're building a following so that they eventually go buy your game. And you're not drinking Coke, you're using, this food-like substance that physically changes your mood and so that you don't feel crappy and you can get on with your day. And it gives you a burst of focus so you can have, the energy doing whatever you're doing. So anyway, as you can see, you're exchanging your time and money with a business because you want tangible outcomes. You're getting something concrete, something tangible, and here and now that will improve your life, socially or financially and emotionally, right? So then what does all of this have to do with your game company? So you got to know that players don't buy video games, they buy tangible outcomes that improve their social and financial lives. So remember how I asked you, what does a business do? Is it a group of people that come together and make games? Is it a creative outlet for you in a way for you to make money from your passions? Well, now you know what a business does has less to do with you and more to do with the person gets. And now you know a business creates value and people exchange their time and money to get that value. And that value does not come from the product itself. People don't care about the features or how it's made or if it's fun to use, right? People only care about what the business will get them in real life, right? They only care about tangible results. So just remember my, 3 examples. So game engine equals make a game, buy a home, right? Or Reddit equals make friends you can't in real life, or build a community that will buy your game. And Coke equals sugar and caffeine, that rush, so that you're not just sitting around feeling bad all day and you have some energy and focus to do, what you need to do. And so this is the same with video games, right? On the surface, it may seem that the value in video games is, they offer players certain feelings or experiences. And it seems that successful game companies make games that, have cool features or cool art or visuals, have an engaging story or have, fun gameplay in a way to, make friends or play with friends, right? But now the value doesn't come from the game itself, but what it does for the player in real life. So here's a list of tangible benefits why players buy and play games. So one is popularity, right? So, posting memes on our gaming so they can basically count their internet points. Another tangible benefit is to be up to date or be first in things, right? So they play the current or the most popular game, and then once that's no longer current or popular, they drop it and go play the new one, right? Another reason is they get praise from others, so they tell their friends they platinum a game, right? Another reason is to be recognized as an authority. So, like for example, speedrunners. Another reason is have influence over others. So, becoming a reviewer or a game journalist, right? And another reason, probably a big reason, is to avoid life's difficulties, basically like, for example, blocking out when your parents are fighting. Or it could be a creative outlet, right? So for example, you make YouTube videos or you make a channel about your favorite genres or your favorite games. Or another reason is you can make a living, right? So for example, you can become a streamer or a YouTuber or a games journalist or even, basically a game dev. And what about personal achievement? So caring about your Steve achievements, even though you don't care if anybody sees them or not, right? It's more like a personal thing. And another reason is stress relief from work. So, you have a crappy job, but that's okay. As long as you can come home and game, then everything will be all right, right? And then the last reason is, make friends. So basically why, a lot of people play multiplayer games, right? So people don't play games in isolation. They don't play games because it gives them, certain feelings, and they don't play games because it offers them, different experiences. People play games because it gives them a tangible result that you can see in real life. And so, for example, socially, a game offers players a way to make more friends or have influence over other people or be recognized or, avoid, life's problems. Financially, a game can offer, a player to make a living. They can, make their own or even make their own game or become a YouTuber, or they can become a journalist, right? And emotionally, games give players a way to physically escape life's difficulties and stresses. But each of these reasons why, gamers play games is because games improve their life in a certain way. And I'm not talking about, games make them feel a certain way or make them feel good. I'm talking about improving lives in tangible ways like having more friends or making more money or feeling less stress so they can, keep going to a job that they hate, right? Physical, tangible reasons. So game companies that seek more value than they offer will fail. I help game devs market their game, and I often see the biggest reason why they fail at growing their company is because they try to get more out of a player than they offer the player. So for example, I always ask, game devs, why are they making a game? And the number one reason is because they want to make a game that they always wanted to play or always wanted to make. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong fulfilling your own desires. And if this is a passion project, that's great. But if we make games that only fulfill our desires, if we only make games because we need a creative outlet, if we only make games, try to impress investors and publishers so we don't have to have a day job, then we're not really adding any value to the player at all. And people don't exchange their money and their time unless they think it will add value and improve their social, emotional, and financial life. So remember, players don't buy video games, they buy social status, more friends, a way to make a living, a way to express themselves creatively, a way to get recognition, a way to avoid life's problems, and etc. So you got to ask yourself, what value does your game offer to a player? So stop thinking about what you'll get and ask what a player will get, and you'll build a game company that makes games of value that everybody will want. My name is Darius, and in the description below, I have a blog where I talk more about marketing your game, doing market research, product planning, and how to build an audience for your game. So click that and I'll have way more free marketing tips for you. All right, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and good luck with game dev. See ya.